Big news today in COVID prevention. Pfizer has asked the FDA to allow its vaccine to be given to children under 12. And that would be a landmark move because so many new infections and full-blown cases are among school-aged children. So far, kids under 12 have not been given that green light to get vaccinated. So let's talk more about this. From New Orleans, a face we're all familiar with, BNC's chief medical editor, Dr. Corey Hebert. Hebert, always good to see you. So vaccinations for kids under 12 are coming, just not fast enough. How big is this in terms of prevention?
It's really big because we know that a lot of children are the nidus by which people get this infection. They're like the vectors. And so they play with each other all day at school. They are interactive. They're very close. So this is going to be really good. I'm really interested in seeing what the uptick is going to be in vaccination rates for children at this age, because a lot of parents that have chosen not to get vaccinated themselves have always vaccinated their children. So it's interesting to see how this is going to be. A lot of people say that this whole vaccination thing is a big experiment, but I think that the social experiment of this is actually more devastating to my psyche than the actual scientific experiment, because we know that these vaccines are safe. We know that people have been using them. Billions of people have actually gotten them, and so for people to still feel like they're unsafe is a little bit of a problem. I think that the social experiment now is going to be whether we're going to allow our children to get these vaccines, which I think is very, very important, because they are getting this disease a lot more. And, frankly, even though not many children have died, really one child dying from something that is preventable is really one too many.
Yeah, absolutely. And you told us about your own patient, that baby girl that you were treating that passed away from COVID.
Absolutely, and this is something that it's not something that's going to happen every day at this point, but it is something that can happen, and so we have to be cognizant of the fact that this is not going anywhere. I mean, the virus is the only constant, so the only way that it will change is if we change, and so we are changing, and we have changed, and I would hope that at this point people would really respect the concept of science and respect the concept of vaccination, so that they can get their children vaccinated. I mean, but by and large, we give children at 2 months of age, 6 shots sometimes at their vaccination appointments, and that's at 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, 12 months, 15 months, 4 years, 11 years, 16. I mean, it's this vaccination for children is nothing new, and we do it all the time, and with multiple shots. So I would hope that that parents could really understand that this is going to be something that we have poured over for a lot longer than we did for the adults. I mean, you got to think about this. We've been vaccinating adults now for what 9 months, 10 months, and we had the ability. Children have been in these studies since almost the beginning. So we've taken a lot longer to look at this and long term for the children, and we really feel that it's a safe alternative at this point from them getting the infection.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm channeling what a lot of parents, especially you, are possibly thinking. You probably know more than us, of course, because you're always a part of those trials. But what is taking so long in terms of approval for that demographic under 12?
Well, we have to do the clinical trials first on people that are not children, right? So we do the healthy adults. So that's like the 18 to like the 45-year-old person, and then we sometimes will go into doing the senior citizen, and then we will do children. So even though the children weren't in the studies at the very beginning, they were in the studies very subsequently after they started, and so we make it our business to recognize the social implications of all this. So we know that if we start vaccinating children and one child has some type of horrible outcome, it's over. So we take more time. To be very honest with you, we take more time when we have to do stuff for children, because we know that their immune systems are just a little bit weaker at points, sometimes stronger, believe it or not. But with vaccination, then we also know that that's always somebody's child. When adults get really sick or older people die, it's what's expected. But when children die, it's not expected. And that's why we take very special care for our young people.
Absolutely. Dr. Hebert, always a pleasure. Still a lot of unanswered questions when it comes to COVID. Look forward to talking with you about that soon.